Hello everyone, and Merry Christmas! As you might have guessed, we are playing Dome Keeper, we're doing a prestige run, and yeah, this is another recording of a game I had off camera. It's not the one I mentioned previously with the full clear, or mostly full clear. This one is slightly different, but not really. You know, just a regular prestige run, which went better than I expected. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to tell, except I did switch up my approach a little bit. I'm now trying to go for the early kinetic power, I believe is the name of it. Anyway, I'm trying to upgrade the orbs first before I grab the explosive sphere, and that's because I'm a little disappointed in explosive spheres early on. The cooldown is a tad too long for me, so you know, I primarily try to use it to clear out space, make way, etc. But since it takes so long to come up, it means I'm pretty much stuck with just 2 orbs at their level 1. And yeah, they don't help clear all that well. So I rather prefer now just the pure clearing power of 2 orbs. And then I supplement it with the explosive sphere, which I usually try to save for the mining. Not always, except, especially if there's nothing I see on the map that I could use it for. I will use it to just clear out space. But yeah, this is one of the adjustments I made. I also now try to mine out the first layers a little bit more. I came to realization that early upgrades, especially for the mining part, are super important. Like, for me, there's a noticeable difference between going for you know, kinetic mining instead of upgrading the side driller to the first level, right? It can be helpful, but for the most part, I just clear things much faster that way, and it helps me to get to the supplement, to the additional side drillers, to the suit blaster, which I also now don't upgrade as soon as possible. So yeah, there's been a lot of change for me when it comes to the upgrades. Here I'm pretty much debating whether or not I get the side drill, and I figure, well, I do have these resources, I'm already at the base, so I might as well do it. Not that I can get any use of it yet. I mean, the first level pretty much does nothing, it's super slow, so yeah. And here I'm just rushing to find either the side drills or X-ray vision. Those are the only things I care about now. Yeah, and here's an example of just, you know, using it to clear space, you know, see a little bit further. I still struggle with finding the supplement and the X-ray vision, but it's slowly getting better. I'm kind of getting a feel of where they should be located, so you know. Here I made a little bit of a mistake. I tried to grab the resources, but I timed the explosive sphere poorly and didn't get anything, and now I'm I'm just wasting time here, honestly. This does come back to bite me at some point, so wasn't ideal, but it is what it is. Also, I have terrible luck with the explosive spheres, just positioning them. They always seem to start off at the worst possible angle for me to grab the resources, so you know. Here I was thinking, like, alright, I found the supplement, and there's a good chance there's a cave nearby, and lo and behold, there's a cave nearby, exactly was what I was looking for. So I'm happy I didn't go back to turn in resources. This is kind of circling back to the beginning of this video, where getting those mining upgrades first, especially the kinetic mining and kinetic power, those, once you get those, you kind of don't have to go back until you find what you're looking for. Like, obviously, if you have found a lot of resources and you still haven't found your supplement, I would usually go back, turn them in, and try to get something out of it. But for the most part, I'm like, alright, well, we don't need anything in here. I should have counted the resources, because ideally I would, float around a little bit longer, grab my final drill upgrade, and then move on. But instead now I'm kind of stuck where I do need it, so I want to get it as soon as possible, but coming back just to upgrade it is a little bit of a waste, so I'm like, I don't know. This didn't go exactly as planned. I really should start counting the resources more and remember my breaking points for the upgrades, but I'm not at that point yet. It would definitely help, but yeah. Let's see. I'm pondering if I should skip a little bit ahead or not, because there's nothing too interesting going on. I'm still trying to find the find the iron for the upgrade. I finally find it, and at this point, I think I'm going back. Yeah, I'm going back to get my upgrades and start going deeper into the mine. I will say immediately that I didn't do a full clear here. I don't think. I think this was there were plenty of resources missed, but I was kind of happy with the start. Here I was like, well, I am going deeper, so I might as well grab the speed. I didn't want to. I seriously considered just going for the score, but also 1 score isn't going to, or in this case 9 score isn't going to be making a lot of difference. So I was like, fine, I'll take the speed because I would much rather collect more resources here. So that's what I did. I do still believe that it's best to grab the second speed upgrade immediately. Like, just getting the first one isn't really worth it unless there's really nothing else you can do with your iron. It's just like there's a slight difference, but you can barely notice it. Like, for me, I definitely don't feel it at all. So if it doesn't feel impactful, I'm like, why bother, right? Maybe I should have even considered the what was it, the center line? I always keep forgetting the names. Simply because I would much rather probably have the longer lifetime of the bundle. But here, again, it didn't make too much sense because we're still in the upper layers, so I was like, well, do I really need it? Not really. Yeah, here I was wasting a little bit of time trying to see if there's anything else I might have missed, and yeah, there was nothing, but we got our speed upgrade, we got center line, and we even had enough to turn in here, and we got our fruit as well, so life's good. I do appreciate the fruit here, just for the sake of movement. It does speed things up quite a bit early on because of the improved mining, and also later on when you have to travel for ages to get to your resources, so it's a good pick. I don't know, I might experiment with further upgrades for the fruit. Not sure how well it will work, but it's not like it's making a lot of difference, and honestly, oftentimes it just sits around in the dome doing nothing because I'm simply just trying to mine everything I see, so there's no point going back and picking it up. But maybe if I get a good run with plenty of resources early on, then I might go for it. But yeah, here I was struggling already because I didn't find the depth charge yet, and we were running out of space, as in there were not that many resources left for us to pick up in these layers. And yeah, for the Shield Blaster upgrades, we would need more iron, and so I was like, oof, I need to go lower now. Here, obviously, we have 20 something iron, so it made sense to go and upgrade. And here I made the decision that I will grab the speed upgrade, but I might go for the score because I knew I had the Shield Blaster, but I try not to upgrade it anymore too much until we get to the lower depth, because again, here we can get away with just Explosive Sphere to mine out, you know, entire node or whatever of iron. There's not much of it around, so I'm like, do I need it? Not really. I could use it, of course, but every Shield Blaster upgrade probably takes out a couple of points early on, and I feel like this is the point in the game where I should start, you know, gathering those points, because I've ended multiple runs at this point at 5,200 points, which is just shy of my personal best of 5,300. So I was like, alright, I need to at least find those 100 points somewhere just to beat my record and and kind of make some sort of progress. I do feel like I'm on the right path with the approach. It's just a matter of honestly some luck and not making mistakes later on. I still make plenty of mistakes in the later parts of the run. I do tend to put a lot of faith into Teleporter, which I'm still undecided about. On one hand, it's pretty nifty that I can just turn all the resources in, teleport, and you know, turn them into the points. On the other hand, I have to travel back. Well, I can teleport back, but then I have to travel downwards again, which cuts into your mining time. Also, just sitting by the teleporter waiting for your resources to turn in also takes a little bit of time. So I don't know. At some point, I feel like it's not worth it, and maybe I should keep just sending resources up and turning them in every other wave. Not sure. Here we got a pretty good haul, but I was like, still, alright, I probably need more points. I will get some important upgrades first. But other than that, yeah, I got some cheap ones because I don't need the large blast radius first. And once I saw that, well, I don't have enough iron to turn in for another base point, I was like, alright, we can now grab the upgrades. And I feel like that's the correct approach with the Shield Blaster. I prioritize base points first, and then if you have something left over, then you can kind of grab your upgrades for the Shield Blaster, because it's very helpful later on, but at this point in the game, it's like not a hard requirement. Sorry. So yeah, here I think this is the part of the game I enjoyed the most, where the amount of resources is manageable. You're making progress, you know, it takes only one blast to clear the whole thing. It doesn't take too long for resources to reach the base, so you can... I mean, if you really wanted to, you could probably go back every wave and turn everything in. And also, you do get to turn in a lot of resources, like the upgrades are still cheap. I mean, the point upgrades. So every time you go back, you kind of make a little bit more progress. I think in this run I got slightly unlucky with the gadget placements. It wasn't too bad, but sometimes you can find them close by, so you can bring back multiple ones at the same time. In this run that wasn't really the case, but yeah. Here I wasn't able to upgrade, obviously, because I ran out of water. And that made me a little bit sad, but again, you know, no harm. We're doing good here. I think we can skip ahead a little bit. I mean, yeah, we're just mining here, really. We're full on mining mode. Let's go ahead and skip more. There was a giant bundle I created. And yeah, this is the point where I turn everything in, grab the fruit. Obviously mistimed my bundles. This would have been at least 15 more points, 16, but wasn't too bad. At least I got my final upgrade here, and yeah, we just turned everything in. This is the point where I'm like, alright, everything we collect we can turn in, so that's making me a little bit more happy. And yeah, wave 12 for 100 points. For me that was a good sign, but now seeing this, seeing the bedrock, I was like, oh boy, this is not going to be as good of a run as I had hoped. And yeah, this did slow me down. Luckily it wasn't too bad. The blockade wasn't too large, but yeah, just having it there threw me off already. Finally got our final cave, at least the one I really care about. So we get vision, we got everything we wanted. So now we get to clear. And yeah, this is the point where the suit blaster upgrade, especially the blast radius, comes to shine, because you know we do want to move quickly, and now the explosive sphere doesn't cut it. It doesn't reach deep enough, and yeah, we need some other way to mine. Also, we're collecting a whole lot of resources here. I do like it when they are so close to the middle. You can immediately see them and plan around them. The ones further on are kind of the ones I struggle with, because I cannot figure out the pathing. I forget which branches I already cleared. I also forget which ones I've seen but haven't reached yet. Like, yeah, I tried to make a mental note of the iron on that side, but honestly, by the time I get to it, I'm rediscovering it, basically. I think we can skip ahead here a little bit. There's nothing too interesting going on. We hit some gadgets, but yeah, we still, even at wave 13, we're not near the, what was it, pink layer? I don't know what the exact color of it is, but basically the layer with the teleporter is the one I kind of care to see now. Yeah, I'm not sure. I do want to experiment with skipping mining for a little bit. and going after the teleporter early, because here, like, it's still wave 14, so we have 6 waves more left. I'm just trying to, well, wave 20 also counts, so 15, 15. So yeah, we have 7 waves worth of points, so not having to send resources up for, I don't know how long it takes, probably half a cycle, and instead turning them in immediately would help, because even if I can squeeze in 1 extra bundle with the use of teleporter, that means more points accumulating over 7 waves, whereas usually I go for the teleporter quite late, which means, you know, if you're at wave, let's say 17, when you finally start using teleporter, you're only using it for 4 more waves instead of 7, so double the amount of points is basically what I would get if I found teleporter early and utilized it. That it's still something I'm thinking about, and I haven't really had an opportunity to try it. I'm usually just overwhelmed by stuff like this. Like, I found iron, I tried to mine it out, but there's still some left, and now I'm debating, do I go and pick it up and spend time, or do I just, you know, leave it be? Do I go after this cobalt that's just lying around on its own outside of everything else, or do I get it? Because at this point I'm looking at cobalt and it's like, well, that's only 14 points. Is it worth it? At the moment, no. Over several waves, maybe. But then again, it will take probably an entire wave to reach the top, so I don't get benefit for another wave, and I'm like, do I want it? I'm not sure. Same for the water, except water is worse than cobalt. You kind of need more and more of it, and at some point, when I see 1 node of water, I'm like, do I even get it? Because I need to turn in like 10 water, and usually I get around 2 or 3 water out of it, so it's not exactly getting me closer. I'll need 4 more nodes of water to find, and it's probably going to take a while, so I might as well just, you know, move on to easier pickings, or better yet, for more iron. But yeah, I think the solution was just, you know, use an orb to get to it, but pick up the water when it's convenient for you. Like here, I might as well just use the orbs to try and mine it out, but not pick it up, and pick it up on my way back or something when there's an opportunity. Again, here I'm like, well, there's 1 iron left. Do I get it? Do I not get it? I don't know. Always the same questions, really. Yeah, and this is the point where I thought maybe I should have, instead of sending the resources up, I should have went and found the portal, because I know for a fact that the bundle that I sent up right now will not reach the base on this wave, and if I'm sticking to the plan of going back only when I have the fruit, I will skip turning it in anyway. So what's the point, right? Might as well just leave it you know, somewhere here, find the portal, and instead send it via portal. Still up to debate, but yeah. The only reason here I didn't go to the branches looking for a portal or more resources, because if I see easy pickings, like the iron right in the middle, I go for it. Like it's usually, at least from what I've seen, it's usually more efficient this way, because there's a good chance it reaches the top and I'll have something. Let's see. Yeah, here it's pretty much just collect the resources. I'm still trying to get better at it, but yeah, you see my struggles. There's always one that is left. And I'm like, do I pick it up? Do I not pick it up? Yeah, here I actually forgot about the supplement, but I saw it. I saw the water in the bundle, and I was like, perfect, perfect, perfect. And yeah, this is where I start losing resources. I go after them, although probably not worth it. But you know, these are kind of decisions. Like I've had multiple occurrences where I wished I had 1 extra or 2 extra iron, because it would have made a little bit of a difference. Not even for the upgrades, but for the points even. Just, again, extra point right now will turn into 4 or 5 overall, so might make a difference. Yeah, I was actually happy with the pace. I asked in the Discord for for the criteria for a bad run, and one of them, Kamikaze, mentioned was 16,000 points by wave 16, and I mean that's exactly where I landed, right? So I was like, all right, I'm on a very good pace, and it seemed all right. I mean, again, the bedrock in the middle threw me off, but other than that, it wasn't too crazy. Let's skip ahead. There was nothing too crazy going on, I don't think. I mean, I struggled with the pickup of the resources. Here, I think I might have skipped over. Yeah, I located the teleporter in the corner of my eye as I was going to turn the resources in. I was like, perfect, we found it. It's still wave 17, so we can utilize it. And here, what I did is, first of all, I tend to forget where the teleporter is if it's not exactly on the screen. So, you know, trying to memorize the space doesn't always work, but making some, you know, unusual decisions, like just widening even more the beginning of the tunnel, does work. Hey, there's something here. But also, as you will later see, I have a tendency of gathering large bundles of resources and squeezing them through this narrow tunnel. It just doesn't work. Here I was trying to micromanage the the teleportation with the gadget pickup. We were low on time, so I was like, oof, can I make it? Can I not make it? I read a comment yesterday about the dome pickup, where even the choice of the dome here, where we don't defend it, also matters, because Sword Dome has the terminal closer by. So I'll have to account for that as well. But yeah, here I think I did the right call and just started utilizing the teleporter, because alright, this is wave 18, so you know, if I send something up, it will probably reach the base. I mean, it will reach the base, obviously, but I'm just thinking whether or not it will reach the base before the start of wave 19. And my answer to that is no, because I still have to get it through to the middle and then go to it and pick it up and send it upwards. So it's costing me a lot of time, and it's probably worth to spend that time tunneling back to the teleporter and just turning everything in, because this way I guarantee that I will have those resources on this wave, and therefore I can use them. The other question though is, do I teleport back? Because I know I don't have the fruit, but essentially I decided, even though I don't have the fruit, so traveling back will cut into my mining time, I decided that these are the last waves, and so I might as well try and get score 3 times. Like I would rather get, how much do we get? about 700, 600. I would much rather get, you know, 630 points 3 times than 700 or 640 points 2 times. Yeah, it makes sense, right? But still, it's up to debate which way is better, because maybe if I went for a greedier approach, it would work out, or maybe if I went for the conservative approach on the wave 18, I would get less score, but on wave 19 I would get more score, because that's when I turned it in, and therefore if it might even out or become even better at that point. So still experiments to do, or I mean, ideally that would be a task for Excel sheet and just, you know, raw calculation, which decision is better. But on the fly, I didn't see any difference. And yeah, it's wave 19. I start collecting all the resources I can, and I'm not sending them up. I'm full on using teleporter here. Like, I didn't see the point of even trying to send everything up. It won't reach the base by the end of the wave, and also I will most likely not be able to reach the teleport everything before the end of the wave either, so there's not much of a difference. And here is, as I mentioned, I have the tendency to make massive bundles, so that's what happens, and probably a bad decision. Some items get stuck in the ground here. I do try to, you know, utilize my explosive, the explosive spheres, the sealed blaster, to make the tunnel wider, but it doesn't help too much. But also, I mean, we probably lost, I mean, we lost a whole lot of iron in there, but mostly we lost water and cobalt that could have made a difference. But iron, like, there's... Well, alright, there's enough for one more wave upgrade. Now that I'm seeing it again, there was definitely enough for probably one more point upgrade, but yeah, it wasn't meant to be. But still, we did get quite a bit, and overall I think it worked out for me, because there was no way... like that's why I mean, yeah, I at this point I was just done with the run. Mentally checked out. I wasn't happy with a couple of things, so when the resources started flying around, I was just not caring. Yeah, as I was saying, there was no way at that point on wave 19 that those resources would reach the base. So there was no point sending them up, while getting some of them to teleporter was still a good idea, right? Because I could teleport and grab extra points, and that's what matters. Probably, I mean, again, I could have just chilled and mined more for the final wave, but yeah, here I was on a cleanup duty. Wave 20. I don't have time to create another giant bundle and bring it all the way to the teleporter, especially with how slow they are. And when I try to pull them through, you've seen what happens, they get split up, so getting the giant one made no sense. So instead, I got just like, I'll pick up the water, I'll pick up the cobalt, and get some, you know, guaranteed points from this, and be happy, hopefully. Yeah, 3 iron, probably one of those nodes that I left would have made a difference, and yeah, that was the end. Well, the good news is, as you might see here, I did get a new personal best. I didn't break into 5,400 points, and, you know, a lot more people started playing, and we got pushed to the 60th place instead of 57s. I don't mind that at all. I mean, it will take like 200 points for me to actually make some meaningful progress in the ladder, so it's whatever. Lots of resources still not picked up. Yeah, these 2 iron nodes would have amounted for 3 iron most definitely. We did clear the top half pretty neatly, I would say. Some resources here and there, but mostly nothing too crazy. Just a good run. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a good day.